Welcome back to American Agenda. As crime continues across the nation, continues to rise and be a hot topic, no place is feeling the effects worse, perhaps, than the city of Chicago. And now it's personally impacting members of the mayor's office. Kwame Amaku, who is the director of Chicago's film office, is recovering after a brutal carjacking outside his own home. And all of this happening as Chicago's Mayor Lori Lightfoot tries to explain the recent surge in carjackings in her city. And here's what she said. Take a look at this. Lightfoot saying that the youths of the city are unloved after police revealed that 57% of carjackings, or their suspects, are in fact juveniles. So let's bring in our panel to discuss. Florida businessman, lawyer, and GOP strategist Ford O'Connell, and host of Money Talk with Melanie and Project 21 member Melanie Collette. So according to Lightfoot, they just need a little more love, and that'll fix everything. What do you think, Melanie?
I do. This is going to shock everyone. Hold on to your pearls here. I think I agree with Mayor Lightfoot on this, but not in the way that you might think. I do think that we have a generation of unloved youths and very bad parenting and a general lack of morality and supervision. I think that we have a world full of that. I agree with her on that. But I do not think that that is the solution, that kids need to be loved more. I think that people need to be held accountable for not disciplining their kids, not supervising their kids, and things of that nature. I do think that love is discipline. That's one of the ways that parents show love. Schools are not disciplining kids. Parents are not showing these kids any discipline, and neither is law enforcement. One of the ways that we show that we love people is through discipline, is through consequences. So I'm sure that that is not what Lori Lightfoot meant when she said that, but that's what I mean. You discipline those that you love.
So Ford, not the attorneys general and letting these folks out. Like, don't show them a little love by they get arrested for these crimes, but then they don't have to pay the price.
Well, look, as someone who's worked in a couple of DA's offices, I will tell you the problem in Chicago is a problem in most Democratic-led cities, and that is the progressive cultural Marxist mindset that the criminals are in fact the victims. This is why you had defund the police rhetoric. This is why you have Soros-backed DAs who decide to knock down charges and let people off. This is why you have soft on crime bail policies. Actually, Lori Lightfoot was giving the whole bag of tricks away. This is how Democrats view criminals overall, and it is basically the victims, and that's why there's a war on police. And when this gentleman in Chicago was injured and beaten, when the elites aren't safe, no one is. And that is the culture that Democrats since 2015 have basically vested in our major cities across this country. And unfortunately, it's not going to be contained there. It's coming to a neighborhood near you.
Yeah, let's take a look at these numbers, because it is. The National Fraternal Order of Police now reporting that 101 officers have been shot so far in 2022. That's a 43% increase, Melanie, from 2021, and 17 of those officers were killed by gunfire.
And, the left and the media continues to demonize police officers down to the, teenagers. I've been told repeatedly by teenagers that cops are no good, but specifically by teenagers of color. Even when I'm teaching a simple lesson on filing a police report if you get your identity stolen. I've had kids tell me I would never file a police report because the police are bad. That simple. There's a problem among the youth with not trusting the police, and the politicians not backing up police officers. They're having a problem with recruiting. Nobody wants to be a police officer. It's very sad, because who are you going to call when the bad guy is out there and up to no good? You call the police. They are there to help you, and they put their lives on the line to do it. And people need to know this, especially the young people. They need to know that that is who you trust.
But instead, you have young people like anti-gun activist David Hogg raising some eyebrows on Twitter. Forty posted this: if you need a license to kill deer, Why don't you need one to kill humans? And then he followed that up with this. Plenty of people will think this is dumb. Good for you. I'm not looking out for an election, and I'm entitled to my own opinion, no matter how much you disagree. So Ford, tackle that one.
Well, David Hogg is a progressive shock jock. He continues to push cultural Marxism online. Notice he's able to do that on Twitter, where if I'd said something in a conservative manner, somewhere akin to that, I promise you I would have been put on in the penalty box by Twitter. But this is not just about youth. Melanie's point's exactly right about how minority youth see the police and law enforcement. But in New York City and other places, crime is going up by criminals that are 30 and 40, 50, 60 years old. And the reason why is because criminals are emboldened, because back to Melanie's point, they don't believe there will be any consequences, and certainly not in major cities. And Democrats always want to turn this into a gun argument, except the Democrats entirely created this problem over the last 10 years.
Yep. All right, everyone, stand by, because we're going to get more from you in just a few minutes when American Agenda continues. Stay with us.